What's up guys, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be having a studio session in FL Studio. I was thinking about making some 80s synthwave, retro rave inspired sort of drum and bass track. Haven't planned anything, so we'll just see where this takes us. First up, I think we're gonna need a simple drum pattern. Just the kick snare to get us going, and then some melodies. Let's try these as a start. That's a good start, I think. So sometimes people will be asking me, how do you start a track? And I think it's very different from track to track. But something I've found in drum and bass is I tend to start with laying out like a simple drum pattern. Sometimes it can just be a kick and a snare, sometimes a bit more. And then I try to add in a bass line because it's drum and bass, so it kind of makes sense. Whenever you have something that sounds like good, you have a pretty good foundation for building more elements on top of it. And it can be like melodies, and it can be more drums or more crazy stuff. It can be whatever. So drums and a bass line. And you can always change the melody of the bass line later on if you're not happy with it. But just get something down there too. And it should sound like pretty solid on its own. You should be like, this is pretty groovy, and then you can layer on top of it and it's gonna be a banger. Pretty much. Okay, so we're gonna start with something like this. Let's just sidechain that a bit. Yeah, that's the start. Let's see. Okay, so we need some sort of chords. These might work. Down here maybe. Bassline go up here maybe, so it goes like one down, maybe one more down here. Oh, I forgot to make that unique. There we go. So we take down here. So we got some chords now going, sounding like this. Yeah, they're kind of dry though, so we are gonna add some reverb to it. Let's see. Here we go. Just a tiny touch. Some Valhalla room. Maybe even some delay. Let's give it a shot. Up here, down here. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty dope. Let's cut the lows on this. some melodies. Something like that, maybe? I think that could sound cool. Let's get it in. No. Yeah. Maybe all the way up here? Not sure about that. Maybe it's too up high. Let's try to add some effects and see. Might not be too high. I think it's pretty dope, isn't it? Okay, definitely need some reverb. Tiny bit much. And I was thinking maybe some like widener of some sort, stereo enhancement. Maybe something like this. Wider. It has to be like it's a background element, at least in this track it's gonna be, because we're gonna add another melody. So I want this to sit like way in the back. Let's get another synth of sorts. That's a pretty cool lead, if I do like this. Maybe we just take the chords from in here and make like a pad or something to go in the background for the drop. And we can maybe use the chords at some other point in the track. So let's find a cool path. Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. Okay, I think it's time to add some hats. This is what we got so far. I changed the lead a little bit. Definitely need some more drums because it's sounding very dry right now. So let's see what we can find for drums. Okay, so when I'm making drum and bass drums, I always sample some breaks. I guess most drum and bass producers do it. I have a sweet spot for the think break, as you might know. If you don't know, I made a video on it, and link for that video will be in the description. Yeah, that's the one we want. Get it in here and cut the other end. How to sample drums 101. Cut out the part you want. Click stretch. Oh, place it here. Stretch it so it fits a bar. There you go. And there you have it. So I tend to only use like the shimmering parts of the break. So let's get it in here somewhere. More drums, seems fitting. And cut away all the lows. Here we go. It's here. Did I solo it? No, I did. And then, as you probably know, there's this little sound at the beginning of the think break going. Yeah. For some tracks it works really well to have it every bar, but for me it gets a bit tedious to listen to it like every time, that little sound, so I actually tend to cut it out and only leave it in sometimes. So cut and just take something from somewhere else and fill it in. I actually think we should take this part instead and cut that so it goes. It's actually a bit too little here. Maybe like this. Yeah. And that's also a thing, like, get creative with your drum breaks, cut them up. Like, this isn't very creative, but at least I changed it a little bit. And we're just gonna try to change the melody a bit here for the drop. Sounds more like something that should come later or be in a break, so let's try to change it a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna play a bit more with the bass line. I'm not really happy with it. I kinda like the lead, like, these parts are cool. Yeah, that's pretty good, but I feel like the bass line is lacking something. I don't think it should be this melody, and I don't think it should be this sound. So I think we're gonna try to make a completely new bass line. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool to go back and change stuff you've already settled upon. Like, I'm trying to change the bass line now into something like completely different melody wise, and I find it's like a good way to find new harmonics. Like, if you have a melody playing out and you just suddenly completely change the bass line, you can sometimes be a bit surprised like how much it can change the whole atmosphere of the track. So that's it's a pretty good thing to at least try out, unless you feel like your bass line is just sitting right where it should. This one wasn't, so I think this is gonna be better. So I'm actually pretty happy with this sort of bassline thing. It's funny because I think a lot of the other stuff we made is not gonna fit at all into this because we changed directions so much. But yeah, that's usually how my projects happen. Is like I'll have something and I'll be like, yeah, that's pretty cool, and just keep ditching stuff and keep the best things. And I feel like that's the way to get a really good end result. Just keep like scrapping ideas, and like you don't necessarily have to delete them. You can use them in another project or something, but like stick with the really good stuff. It almost still works actually. It's just not a good sound. Just pick a plug or something and then put it on Valhalla Room and keep it on 100% on the default preset. I think on some things it sounds really cool, and it can be like some sort of background element or your main element. So yeah, I was just browsing some ambience noises, and I was thinking maybe we could have something in the background. It'd be pretty cool, just to fill out the track a bit more. So I'm just gonna try a few. Like the jungle is so nice. Let's try it. Okay, I couldn't really find any vocals that could fit, but instead I found this kinda like stuttery vocal sound and put some more effects on it. Sounds like this. Makes for a pretty good background noise in here. So that's gonna be it for today, guys. Thank you so much for checking in. I think we're gonna work on this some more another time. So yeah, if you're new here, subscribe. I'm gonna upload way more videos in the future about music production, not only drum and bass, but mainly drum and bass. And yeah, we're gonna work some more on this another day. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.